Hello and welcome to day 48 in this quest for a 2000 rating on chess.com. So let's find an opponent and begin here. Okay, alright, looks like we have the white pieces and we're playing Kill Bill 1, which was an interesting movie if you haven't seen that. Alright, so we'll start with e4. And it looks like we have a Caro-Kann here. Alright. So we'll play something a little different and just see what they do here. The two knights attack in the Caro-Kann. Alright, so what will they do here? Alright. So they attack. Okay. Well, we'll just go there, put some pressure on that pawn, and see what they do next. Alright, so they are protecting that. Okay, so now I'm not as familiar with this, so let's see what we should be doing here. I'm still learning this opening, so it might take me a little longer to figure it out. I know the Caro-Kann, but just this variation is a little different, so let's see here. Do we attack? Do we press forward? Let's see. Well, I don't recall, so let's just play that and see what they do next. Maybe that wasn't the correct move. Okay, so now let's see here. Let's see. Alright, well, now it's kind of tricky here. Do we just move this other knight? Probably. That'll kind of open things up. So we'll go ahead and do that. And then, well, we might as well attack there. Alright, so that at least helps us develop our queen. But I don't know here. We're kind of in a cramped position. Kind of in a cramped position here. Okay, so what are they thinking? Maybe pushing forward here? What could we try here? Well, if he jumps down here and tries to check us, then what do we do? Okay, so there's this threat here of checking our king. We could block, but then what does that queen do? Maybe go after this. All right, I should probably just develop here. So we'll go ahead and do that. Although my queen is really getting, I don't know, my queen has limited moves here. All right, so he jumps forward. We should probably go ahead and castle here. So we'll go ahead and do that. Now, okay. Well, we could go after his knight here. Do we want to do that? Or do we just go after that bishop? We could do that as well. Just jump our knight up here into the position. Okay, now, do we have some opportunity here? He castled right into this area where we have two bishops, a knight, a queen. So we basically have four pieces up here. He has a knight and basically a knight defending, maybe his queen a little bit. So is there a sacrifice possible here? Let's see. Do we capture? Okay, I have to really take a look at this because this could be a turning point. We might have some kind of a sacrifice possible here. So if we take with the bishop, he's gonna, let's say he recaptures. We take with the knight, we have a check. His king could just run up here. Do we take with the knight? Then we go here. Maybe we take with the knight first. So if we take with the knight first, he captures. We capture with the bishop attacking his rook. So knight, check. He could just move. He'd probably take. We capture, attacking his rook. Then the rook could move. If we check, that's a possibility. So maybe capture with that knight first. This is really tricky. So capture with the knight. He captures. We capture with the rook, or excuse me, with the bishop attacking his rook. And then what? Then we move here with a check, threatening a mate. I don't know, it's looking good here. I just have to double check. So if we capture, what else could he do? Capture, he captures, sorry, we got to capture with the knight first. Knight check. If he doesn't capture, we just move back and we're just ahead a pawn here. But if he captures, we capture attacking his rook. If the rook moves, this is tricky. Maybe he can escape there. So capture with the knight, capture, bishop captures, the rook moves, our queen checks. Our queen checks. But then what do we do? It's so tricky. I can't tell if there's enough here. Okay. So knight captures. Or what if we captured here first? No, I don't know if that works. Okay. Should we just line up here? Or, well, here. He could just push forward. I just feel there is something here. I just have to calculate this. All right, so knight captures, pawn captures, bishop captures with check, bishop captures attacking his rook. If the rook moves, okay, then we can check. He can't go there because of the bishop. All right, so I think we're doing that. Hopefully I didn't miss something. All right. Man, we took over 5 minutes to calculate that stuff out. So that's another problem. I guess, I should probably work on calculation because 5 minutes, that's a long time. So hopefully it was worth it. We'll see. It just looked like there was something here. I mean, now he could just not capture here. And then what? Then we... Okay, so he does. So we'll capture there. If he tries to go after the bishop, we can take his rook. Or, do we have anything better? We could take that rook, then we could go up here with our queen and check the king. All right, well, we should take that rook. Unless there's something better. If we take the rook, he's just going to recapture. If we try to move somewhere, here, the rook will just attack our queen. So we probably should capture that. All right, now let's see how, what would a good follow-up be? Let's see. Well, we need to bring our rook in. So where would be best to put our our queen? We just press forward with this pawn. Or do we just move up here? We'll just go there. We'll try and bring this pawn forward. And that way we can bring our rook up into the game. Now, will it matter if we let his knight in there? All right, we'll just go ahead and do that. Or would it have been better maybe to just develop our try to develop our piece here. Well, excuse me, develop this bishop here. Well, at least we're attacking this. All right, so now it's just going to be a matter of watching out for our time here. Okay, well, if we go here, if that knight jumps in, then what do we do? All right, well, we might as well. Do we want to do that? He might trade queens off. What if we just go here? He'll probably capture. All right, I think we need to go here. Okay. What if we just bring this other rook over to there? All right. Well, And should we be bringing this other pawn up here? And now we got to watch for time. So I don't know. I have an attack, but I just don't know if it's going to build up correctly. If I go here, I could threaten a check. Alright, so I should probably go there. If that moves in, let's see, or maybe I should go here. Try that. All right. Well, now do we bring the other rook in? Maybe we bring the other rook in, then we can threaten a check. So we'll go there, threaten a check. And we have a good possibility of an attack with that. So check. And now do we sacrifice our rook? If we sacrifice our rook, then maybe we don't have anything here. Did I over push here? If I sacrifice the rook, the king takes. Or do I just go... did I run out of steam here? It appears that way. It appears that I've run out of steam. It appears that I've run out of steam. Oh, man. That was a tough attack, but it looks like they defended. So... what do we have? Do we go here? They capture. We go there. Or do we just go here and threaten? All right, I'm burning up too much time, so we're just going to have to go that way. See what they do. They'll probably just take my queen, I guess. All right, now what? I don't like the look of these rooks lined up on the dark squares like that. Well, at least this bishop can't move because he'll just be in check. All right, all right. Well, we should probably move this bishop and activate it. If the knight jumps in here, then what? If the knight jumps, or this knight jumps into here, where is it going after that? It could block. All right, so we need to try that. Although that does block this guy in really bad here. So that's not good. Okay. If we captured there, do we just block that? Maybe we just block like that. All right, so we really have to watch our time. Once again, we're in time trouble after taking 5 minutes to think if that attack would work. And then, I don't know, what are we, slightly ahead by, what, the equivalent of 1 pawn maybe? So what do they have? Okay, so he decides to retreat back. Oh, we have a discovered attack now. Okay. Well, now we can pick off their rook. But will our other rook get trapped? Will our other... Oh my gosh, did we mess up? Did I just ruin the game there? Oh my gosh, come on! Time trouble again. Come on, what a stupid move. I just threw away the game. Come on. Alright, I guess I gotta do that. Oh, wait, that didn't even do anything. That's just even worse. Well, I guess we might as well just resign now. Alright. I guess we're just running out of time here. Oh, what an awful blunder there at the end. Come on. So frustrating. I guess that's what happens when you burn up too much time. Okay, well, let's do the game review here. Just threw away that game. Oh man, we only played at 66.7% accuracy. Probably a lot of it was there at the end. Well, even in the end, it shows that black was ahead that whole time. So maybe our attack was not good. Although here we're ahead, so it looks like we missed a few opportunities. All right, let's start this review and see. I think I misplayed the opening as well. So I'm going to have to dig into the books and look at that. All right, so d3 is a mistake. Okay, yeah, I wasn't sure what to do here. So, best would have been what? Attacking this way? What if they just push forward here? They could push forward, and then I would have to move, and then they could push this pawn forward, and he would have these pawns just wedged in there. But I don't know. We'll take a look at that in the analysis. All right, man, that's so frustrating. But I guess once your clock is ticking down, I should have double checked everything, but I thought I had a discovered attack there that just didn't work. All right. This says I missed an opportunity to threaten checkmate. So what did I do wrong? Apparently, you allowed the opponent to capture the checking knight. So what should I have done better? So I should have instead just moved my queen here. I was looking at that as well, but I didn't really. I thought the sacrificing of a piece was more immediate. So what do they do here? Well, I guess they can't go here because my bishop would pick them off. So what do? They would have to push forward. And then I could capture a pawn. Anyway, that'll be something else we'll have to look at. And that was a much better move, it looks like. All right, well, I just did not play the greatest today, I guess. After that, I don't know. I thought I still had an attack here. So let's take a look at this. So a missed opportunity here as well. So best would have been to capture. Anyway, we'll take a look at this in the analysis. Another interesting turning point in the game. And, I guess that would be better. But I thought he would just capture with his queen and attack my queen. And then what do I do? Anyway, I guess I should have gone into an endgame instead of trying to go after their king all crazy. Oh man, it just blasted right through those. Okay, so it didn't like that bishop to g4 move. That was a mistake. Best would have been just pushing this pawn forward, I guess, to prevent this pawn from moving in the future. All right, well, then black would still be slightly ahead. Oh man, all right, so then that was the blunder at the end to just finish off this game. So best would have been what? To take the rook? Or no, to retreat back. The bishop was still in the way. So to retreat back would have been best. And then we would add a slight edge. All right, well, terrible ending. We only played 1350 today. Oh my gosh. Well, our opening was 85.4 versus their 83.1, but our middle game was 60.1 versus 70. I guess I tried for too much. I tried to attack when I should have been just, simplifying and just keeping my one pawn's worth advantage. All right, well, let's take a look at the analysis. Man, this is so frustrating, but, I guess that's part of chess. Okay, and this opening, I definitely need to see where I could have played the opening better because I'm used to, after they play c6, I always used to just play d4 here. And so I'm very familiar with that, but I'm trying this new two knights attack, I think it's called, where you bring this knight up. They play like normal in the Caro-Kann, and then we bring the other knight up. So usually it's not a good idea to push this pawn forward. We see that that's an inaccuracy. And white jumps ahead here. And the best move now is knight to e2, attacking that pawn and luring it, maybe further forward, I guess. Or wait a minute, if he did that, we could just move out of the way and then it would be under attack anyway. All right, so I misplayed that. Let's see. Knight to e2 is best. Let's see what black should have done here. So knight to f6 looks like that would be best. Well, then we could push forward and attack. And then what do? They could jump down in here to e4. So that could be a little tricky there in the center. All right. So they're saying knight to f6. And then we should play e5. Then their best move is to jump forward with knight to e4. And now it does not want us to capture there because they would recapture and drive our knight away. So here, interestingly enough, they want us to go here to e2, then queen where to b6. So I don't know, it's recommending that. Oh, threatening mate there. Okay, so then you definitely want to make sure that you push forward here. And then their best move is this, but that does block in their bishop. Then we go here to fortify this, and then we could maybe move our knight. That way we can do something with our bishop, unless we fianchetto the bishop. So now c5, putting pressure on the center here. We go to g3, attacking them, but we probably don't want to do that because then they'll capture and chase our knight. So they attack. Now the recommendation is not to go here because it would let this bishop check, or the queen, I guess. So now best is knight captures here. Then capture towards the center. Knight to c6, attacking us and our pawn here. It looks like just retreating to f3 is best. Then the queen applying pressure with the knight to this pawn. And it looks like we could play bishop to f4 to protect. But anyway, I won't go too much deeper. I've already dug pretty deep into that line. So back to the beginning in the game here. They attack us. We play the best move, knight to e2 here. But then they protect. Now it's saying we should have played c3. So let's see, c3 is best. And here, instead of going after this, which I may take a look at, it says to capture here. We capture towards the center. They bring their knight up, attacking our pawn. Now it just recommends our knight protect the pawn. Then what? e6. d4. We have a pretty solid center here. They should capture. We recapture with the two pawns in the middle. We do have to watch out for a check here at some point. Bishop to b4 check is possible, but it looks like just developing the knight is what the computer wants. And then we go here to keep the bishop and the knight out of here. Then they can go bishop to e7 and get ready to castle. All right, now if I go back here and play that, what if they push forward? Well, here it says, what, knight to f4 is best? Attacking this. Okay, well, what if they just play that? Well, then we go queen to a4 check. And they can block, but then we'll pick this pawn off. Okay. All right, well, interesting. In the game, we just played d3. They played, see, they followed up with bishop to g4 here, which is a miss. Best would have been knight to c6. And, then once again, we should play c3 here, attacking their pawn in the center. All right. So if they play that, we should attack this pawn. They should play e5, it looks like, fortifying the center. We capture. They capture. Now we want to play a3 to avoid any surprises over here with a check. And they just develop a knight. We get this knight moved over to here. Well, or we just develop this bishop. Different options. Okay, anyway, let's head back to the game. We played d3. They attack here. Now we play knight to g3, but a counterattack would have been better. So best would be this move instead, attacking them. And now it recommends bishop to d7. Then we could just take the bishop pair by capturing, but the computer also recommends c3 or even b4. Well, I guess if they captured that, we could capture in the center maybe. All right, so we played knight to g3 there. They push forward. Wait a minute. They played that? Okay, yeah, we can't capture because we're pinned now. So we attack, they capture, we capture. They push forward, which is an inaccuracy. Looks like just developing their knight would have been better. Oh, because then there could be the threat of moving here and trying to fork here. So instead they played h6. I guess they wanted to develop this knight and were worried about us pinning to the queen. But I don't know, the queen could move here with check. Well, I guess then we could block with our bishop. All right, so we develop, get ready to castle. They develop their knight. We castle. And here they play d6, and that is a mistake. So best would have been, once again, developing this knight. Or did they have another option? g6, getting ready to develop the bishop, fianchetto the bishop over here on the king side. But they played this. So now we should have immediately attacked that with knight to f5. But what did we do? And we did play that. Okay, knight to f5. Now, they could have retreated their bishop back, I guess. So I guess they could have done that, retreated their bishop back. And that's what it recommends is the best move. So if we go here, the best move is to retreat. So let's see. Yeah, bishop to f8 is what they should have played. But instead they castle. So, and even here, after that move, we should just pile up on that g pawn with this. They'll play g6, and then, oh, then we capture this pawn with check. Okay, well, maybe that's why they did not want to play that. Oh my gosh. All right, well, let's see. In the game, we attack their bishop. They castle. Now the best move is queen to g3, and we missed that. So queen to g3 is what we should have played. Just lining up, threatening a mate in one here. And then the best response, if they play g6, well, then we can capture this pawn. So it looks like the best response is that, but then we can just capture as well with this. Okay. Then the queen moving here to help protect. Bishop to g5. Attacking. Queen to g6. Oh my gosh. Queen to g6. And then knight to e7. Man. Knight to e. Yeah, this is a little tricky here. So, then we're forking the king and queen. So, of course, they would want to capture. But then we could capture here. Their best option is to go ahead and pick off our queen. We recapture. And now knight to c7. And here we have the option of either just going ahead further in material by capturing this rook. But it says bishop to h5 is better to keep the bishop pair. Bishop to h. Oh, wait, this bishop moved our light squared bishop here. Huh. Why would you want to do that? Maybe you're trying to entice them to push this pawn forward and create a weakness. Bishop to h5, knight to d7. They still want you to capture. Then you would finally capture. But I don't know. Me, I would probably just capture right away. Then they capture. Then now it's recommending pushing the g-pawn. All right, back to the game. So instead, we miss our opportunity and capture this way. So then they capture. We capture. King to h8, which is a great move according to the computer. How much of a difference does that make? All right, well, we go there. Best is to capture, and that's what we did. They recapture with the bishop, which is best, bringing more protection up here for the king. Now it says h4 is the best move, or queen to f5. So in the game, we played queen to f5. Now it's saying that's best. Okay. We're attacking this pawn. So they move their knight up to protect that pawn and bring another piece over for the defense. Now king to h1 is best. All right, why is that best? King to h1, then it recommends bishop to d6, then g4. All right, well, in the game, we played f4. It says g4 would have been better. So now queen to e7, a blunder. And it looks like we did not take advantage of the opportunity here. We should have captured this pawn. We didn't do that. So what should they have played? Their best move here is bishop to d6 to just help fortify here. So then we should just go ahead and capture. They should capture with the bishop. Then g4 is best. And queen to e7 now, or retreating the bishop up here. I would probably prefer queen to e7. All right, so in the game, in this position, after they make this queen move, the computer says that's a blunder and that we should have captured this pawn, which we did not do. We brought our rook up, and that was a miss. Man, we would have had a +2 advantage if we captured there. So let's take a look. We should have captured. Then, well, why wouldn't they recapture with the queen? Oh, because this knight can't be protected. If they capture with the queen, we capture, then the knight would have to recapture and we would pick their knight off. So, oh man, yeah, their best move is to move their knight. Oh man. You know, or knight to g8, but they're saying, let's see, knight to h7 here. Now it's saying knight to g8 would have been better. Here, bishop to h5, just piling the pressure up on this pawn. Or just queen captures immediately here. Could do that. Anyway, we did not take advantage. We moved our rook up. They just bring their bishop over. Now, we should have pushed a pawn forward, it looks like. And then they play rook to f8, a mistake. So, they make a mistake here. Instead, they should have played knight to h7. All right. Knight to h7. Then we should play queen to h5. Over here. And king starts moving with over to g8. So, all right, after their mistake, looks like we missed the opportunity to take advantage of it. We should have played queen to g5. So queen to g5 would have been the best move. Then rook to e8 to protect. Rook to g3, threatening a mate. Queen to f8. Queen to h4, check. Block with the knight. Bishop to g4. Oh man. Queen to e7 attacking. Capture. Capture. Bishop takes d7. Rook captures. And then rook at g to f3. Okay. Well, at least here we pile up. We don't want to take this pawn immediately, or the bishop can just move here attacking us. Then we would have to move. I don't know. Anyway, there's not too much of a difference, but it recommends that. Then you think they would just capture to keep the material more even. but they recommend moving the king. All right, back to the game. Excuse me. All right, it's getting dark in here. Turn the light on and all right. Capture. So that was an inaccuracy. Excuse me. Rook to g3. All right. So they captured the pawn, but better would have been what? Their best move is just knight to h7. So knight to h7 would have kept the game even. And now it recommends what, moving this rook up here to g4. But anyway, it looks like the game would be even at that point. But instead they captured here. And it looks like we should have captured with the queen, but we captured with the rook. So queen captures would have been better, because now we could try and just run over here with a check, possibly. But they would try and stop that with knight to h7, and now the queen is guarding that. So in the game, we captured with our rook, and then, which is an inaccuracy, and black is ahead now. They played queen to e5, and that's a mistake. So instead, they should have once again played knight to e7 to help guard. But then rook at g. Rook at g to g4. So this move is what's recommended. Well, now it doesn't like that. Okay. It's saying rook to f1 to drop back. It says that move is best, but the game's even at this point. But in the game, after queen to e5, a mistake, we follow up with rook to h4 check, which is an inaccuracy. Rook to g5 would have been better. So instead, we should have played that. And then their best move is just to bring their rook over, it looks like. Bring their rook over to e8 and guard their queen along with the knight here. All right, so rook to h4 check was played. They move their king over to g8, which is best. We move here, lining up. We had something better. Looks like, man, they like queen to f2 the best, keeping our queen on the board. Queen to f2. Now what? Rook to e8. Bishop to g4. And now it's saying that better would have been to bring our rook over here and line up on this knight and this pawn. Queen to d. Anyway, the game is about even, but well, now it's saying +1 over here. So I guess we could play this out a little bit further. Queen to d6 is the best move. Then rook to f5. Rook to e7 or king to f8. Man, to line up on this. All right, rook at g to f3. Everything's piling up here. And rook to e6 to help cover. Now queen to e1. Anyway, that's another possible variation of how the game could have gone. But in the game, we play this. They exchange off queens, of course. We capture, and now we're slightly ahead here, even though we're ahead 1 pawn's worth of material. Let's see here. They move the rook to the half-open file. and we make a mistake here with bishop to g4. So instead, we should have played rook to what? Rook to f4? Or a4. Now it's saying a4 is better. a4 to gain space over here. All right. Now it's saying rook to f4. So I guess the computer doesn't know exactly what is best. But it knows this is a mistake. So bishop to g4, not good. Now black is ahead again. But they miss with rook to e5. Best would have been knight to e5, attacking this bishop here. So, knight to e5. So they would attack. Our best move is what? Bishop to h5? Bishop to h5, man. And now it's saying here, which I don't know, that move looks better anyway. If we go back, bringing the bishop up here, you could at least aim at the king side, blockade this pawn. But now it's saying b5. They'll start pushing pawns over here. We should play b3 maybe. Okay, let's finish this game out. How it ended horribly. Bishop to g4. A mistake. They move up here. This is a miss. And then we should have played, well, it's showing bishop to f5, but now it's saying that rook takes is best. So let's look at that. Rook takes, knight takes, and bishop to f5. Man, I'd be a little worried about this rook, but I guess if the knight moves here, the bishop could capture. So now it's showing knight to e8 is best. Knight to e8. King to f2. Or king to f1. Anyway, at this point, the game would still be even. So bishop to f5. Knight goes to f8. That's an inaccuracy. So best would have been c4. Take a look at that. Well, now it's saying b5 would have been better. This just gives up a pawn. So maybe b5, then you can push that pawn. Here it says either a3 or even b3. All right, well, let's take a look. In the game, after knight to f8, we played the horrendous move. We played this blunder, which was so bad because he could just capture with this knight, and then this rook is protected. So what should we have done here? Rook to g3. Well, let's see, what did it say is best? Yep, rook to g3. So we should have just retreated back. Then rook to e7. Well, now it's saying bring the knight up. Bring the knight up. Anyway, so if he would have played that, if he would have brought his knight up to here, it says that's best and that we should capture. So capture, pawn captures is best here. That's kind of interesting, because then your rook is pretty much trapped. But that, then rook to h, Rook to h6, attacking here. Rook to h6. Well, now it doesn't like that. It wants a4. Okay, anyway, you get the gist. The game should have been, slightly in white's favor, but it wouldn't have ended with this disaster. After a blunder here, they capture, which, blunders happen when you're down around a minute on the clock. I shouldn't have taken 5 minutes to figure out my attack, which I didn't play the best move anyway. So, capture. Yeah, now we're just, that wasn't even good there. So we should have just, our best move was this, but we're still behind because they just go ahead and capture. And then they have 3 pieces to our 1. So, the game may have continued if we didn't just let the time run out. Then what? They're just going to destroy us here with these 2 extra knights. All right, well, thank you for watching. Sorry it was a disaster there at the end, and I just missed a few opportunities. So I have to work on that, work on those tactics. Anyway, thanks again. Thanks for watching. Feel free to like and subscribe for those that haven't already. Also, leave comments, requests for anything you'd like to see in the future. And thank you for watching, and have a super chess day.